In this episode of Two Wheels to Anywhere, we take a look at the differences between Laconia and Americade, two of the biggest and most prominent New England motorcycle rallies.
We've seen spikes on bikes, we've seen helmets, no helmets, we've seen people farkling their bikes.
While Pete gets his first tattoo, we'll show you the beautiful Adirondack Mountains from the air, and Ken gets started on his first tire change.
I'm looking for a Gixxer 600 for the spring, so I can come here next summer and have a lot of fun.
Years and years ago, it used to be kind of more of a rowdy event.
More rowdy, right?
So we really have very few problems.
Is it still wild and crazy? What's your opinion?
Naked women around, that kind of thing. But a lot of beer drinking on the street,
Right.
burnouts. They don't let you do any of that stuff anymore.
Two wheels to anywhere, kickstand up and heading somewhere. While you're waiting for the light to change, we'll be hanging in the left lane. We got two wheels to anywhere, open throttle, full tilt, no fear. Been waiting for the summer day. Two wheels might run away.
What is a motorcycle rally? Well, it's where a bunch of motorcyclists get together and spend a week having fun, looking at bikes, riding bikes. You can see behind me the beautiful expanse of the water, and it's a great place to meet. We're here to show you, dear viewer, what it's like to come to one of these rallies.
We spoke to a number of bikers at Americade, some who travel afar to Lake George every year, and many who do it riding a Honda Goldwing.
So you're here on your Goldwing?
Yes, we are.
And I understand it's your first visit, is that right?
Our first visit, yes, and we're enjoying it. We came from Lancaster, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
by the way of Vermont and New Hampshire.
How'd you like the bike?
Oh, I love the bike.
Yeah?
I wouldn't ride anything else.
You wouldn't ride anything else?
Yeah.
So if we said swap it for a Harley, would you?
No, I'd never change it for a Harley.
Nothing compares to it as far as power, smoothness,
Right.
comfort.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a couch rocket.
There you Yeah. go.
Because we didn't start out with the Goldwing.
Okay.
I actually started out with the 600. I always wear a helmet.
90% of the time, because we live in Pennsylvania, you know there's no helmet law. So a lot of times I'm around town, I get a little stupid, I guess you could say.
Okay.
When you go down once, you get all the protection.
Pete takes some advice from some Americade riders and shops for a new helmet.
What about helmets? Do you guys ride helmets in Vermont or here?
Vermont, you have to.
Okay.
Here, you don't have to. I don't wear it now.
For the seasons, we get in here, we drove over from New York State, across Vermont.
Do you like Americade or do you like Laconia?
Americade's like a one-day trip for us because we're only 140 miles away. This trip here, we get a few days off work and
Yeah, that's even better.
just hit the road for a while.
It certainly has a lot more activity, I think. It's been more established for a longer period, hasn't it?
Would you ever trade your kind of cruisers for Goldwings or for crotch rockets?
I used to ride sport touring bikes, but I'm getting old, so I had to go to a cruiser.
You gotta go. That's like our producer. Okay, right.
Both rallies had humble beginnings. Americade, which is held at Lake George, New York, first started in 1983 and drew 2,000 people for the first cade. Motorcycles gathered at the Roaring Brook Ranch headquarters, where manufacturers offered numerous demo rides and still do to this day. Americade takes place in the first week of June and primarily caters to the touring motorcycle community. In 1986, numbers grew to about 10,000 in attendance, making it the largest touring rally in the motorcycle world at that time. Now the rally brings about 50 to 60,000 motorcyclists from all over the United States.
People have to park, and just like anywhere else, there are parking cops. So despite the fact, here we are with trillion bikes, I'm afraid that I have seen some tickets, and this guy's got one. We told you about helmets. Well, let's go to a place where you're not going to see any helmets. Let's go to Laconia. So, here we are at WEIRS Beach in 2009. There's a lot of wetness here today, and it's not all in the beer glasses. It's raining, it's a little cooler, but I can tell you that the passion for motorcycles is still as hot as ever. Well, back in 1916, when this whole thing started, we had a few passionate motorcyclists coming here, enjoying the beach, enjoying the beer, and having a great time on their bikes. It attracted a lot of attention, and before long, by about 1923, the road racing started. It was very successful until 1965, when things started to go a little bit pear-shaped.
During the summer of 1965, a riot between motorcycle gangs and local police broke out. This brought national media attention to Laconia, and for several years after, the rally was changed to a 3-day week.
Yeah, we heard about the riots in '65 and all that stuff. I mean, so clearly there's been changes going on in the rally.
It's changed. We've tried to work on better motor vehicle traffic patterns.
Yes.
We don't want them to wait in traffic, so we try to change the patterns around the bridge.
Cool.
Starting tomorrow, there will be no four-wheel drive vehicles allowed on this street.
So some people, across the states will say, "Oh, Laconia got a bad name for the '60s."
The nights do get a little bit busier down here. I wouldn't say it's a family atmosphere. Obviously, the bars are full.
Sure.
And then when they empty out at 1 o'clock in the morning, we try to make sure everybody gets home safely.
Yes.
And that's our goal, is to get everybody home safely. And so far, it's worked.
The wild side years ago was the girls used to go down the strip flashing, and it was a little bit more party attitude.
Okay.
A little bit more out of control party attitude.
Here we are at the Asylum Tattoo Studio, which is an intrinsic part of the biker's armory, should we say. Some people would say that it's even a safety device. I'm in Marco's Asylum Studios here, and I've decided that I'm going to go for the tattoo, right? So it's my first one, a tattoo virgin.
It's Eric.
Eric, pleased to meet you.
Yes.
Great, so you're a tattoo artist here.
Yes, I am. I love all of them. These are like tribals from South America.
Cool.
I usually use organic pigments. These are the tattoo machines. These 3 are for lining, those are for shading and color.
Hey.
So the needle would go here, and the tube, and the grip would be here.
Cool. A lot of pricks there.
I beat my record like 2 years ago here in Laconia. I did 16 tattoos in 12 hours.
These guys can actually do pretty much tattoo anything you want on you, so we gave them a business card and we said, okay, tools to anywhere. And the next course is we want to have this tattooed on the producer's forehead as well. So he'll be next.
Coming up after the break, Rich takes a scenic flight over Lake Placid,
we think we have a real special area for people.
while Pete finishes up his tattoo.